Okay, we'll continue with the other topics. In the last class, we had talked about list in Pythons, right? So the next one, we'll talk about Python dictionaries, right? So what does that dictionary mean, right? What is a collection? A collection is nice because we can put more than one value in them and carry them all around in one convenient package, right? We can put all the values in one collection and carry them all around in one convenient package, right? So collection is something like you're just putting all the values in a single uh, package, and you can carry carry it conveniently. We have a bunch of values in a single variable, right? We have a simple single variable which carries money, single variable which carries many values. We do this by having more than one place in the variable, right? You can having placing all these elements in a single variable. We have ways of finding the different places in the variable, right? You can place the values in any convenient position of your uh, convenient position. You can place it in the variable. So that is what, right? In other words, a collection is something, it's a convenient way of packaging many values into a single variable, right? So there are two ways of collections we can talk about. In the last class, we had talked about list, right? A linear collection of value that stay in order, right? These are nothing but the linear collection of lists which stays in order, right? And whereas there is another collection, we call it as a dictionary, a bag of values with its own labels, right? Each value has its own labels that associated with each and every value. So okay, that is a major difference between a list and a dictionary. A list is nothing but a linear collection of values that stay in order, right? In whatever the sequence you have entered into the list, the same sequence will be maintained throughout the operations. There will be no change in the order of the collections or order of the variables. But whereas in case of the dictionary, you each value will carry a own label, right? If you have one variable or one value, and that variable will carry the what you call it as a label with it, right? That is the major difference between a list and a dictionary. What is the dictionary? Every what you call it as, this is one example of the dictionary. What you have, this is what you have back. And what this bag contains, all these things, it contains a calculator, perfume, candy, money, and the tissues and all the things. What is this collection? This is nothing but the dictionaries. What this dictionary basically contains, it contains a calculator of some amount, right? Perfume and a candy of some amount, right? And the money of some amount, like you take it as 500 rupees, and the tissue papers like five tissue papers or 10 tissue papers and something. And I'll keep all these values, right, into a bag, and that bag we call it as a dictionaries, right? That bag we call it as a dictionary. A dictionary, it is a collection of five items in it, and each item or each variable has its own value, right? Calculator has one value, perfume has another value, candy has the third value, money and the tissue has a separate value. So all in all, the the collection is nothing but, right, the dictionary is a collection of items with an associated value with it, right? That is called as the dictionaries. So now let us look at what do you mean by a dictionary here. Dictionaries are Python's most powerful data collections, right? It is a powerful data collection of the Python programs. The dictionaries allow us to do fast database operations in Python, right? You can do database operation like operations. You can do it in a Python programming. Dictionaries have different names in different languages, right? You call it with the different names in the different programming languages. In case of Perl and PHP, we call it as associative arrays, and in case of Java, we call it as a properties map or hash maps. We call it as, and in case of C#.NET, we call it as a property bag. But in case of Python programming, we call it as the dictionaries, right? And the dictionaries are basically one of the most powerful data collections, right? And that allows us to do database like operations. So if you are familiar with the database like operations, you can insert an element into it, or you can retrieve it, or you can update, or you can modify it, right? You can delete it. All the operations you can do it in a database, right? The same thing can be done with the dictionaries as well. You can insert an element into an existing dictionary. You can delete an element from the existing dictionary. You can modify the contents of a dictionary element, and you can delete it, right? Anything you can do it in collections, right? And each dictionary, like in case of the Python, we call it as a dictionary, and the different programming languages call the dictionaries with the different names, right? The Perl and the PHP call it as associative arrays, and the Java calls it as properties or map or the hash maps, and the C#.NET will be, they are calling it as a property map. So now look at how the dictionary appears, and the difference between list and dictionaries. List index their entries based on the position in the list. As you learned in the last topic, that is, each, if you want to access an element in the list, you have to specify the index of or the position of the element, right? And you can access the element. But in case of the dictionaries, there is no ordering here. There is no ordering with respect to the elements that you are putting it. So we index the things, we put it in the dictionary with a lookup tag, and this lookup tag we call it as a key. We call it as the key. So in case of the list, we are accessing the elements based on their position, or also called as the index within the list. Whereas in case of the dictionaries, we access the elements by just using lookup tag, or also called as the keys. So let us look at one example of the dictionary, how the dictionaries will get created, and how to insert the dictionaries into the dictionary class, dictionary object, then how to make changes into the contents of the things. So initially what you do is that you create an empty dictionary, right? So unlike like you were in the last few classes we have studied, if you want to create a now empty list, we are using it as a list, right? List followed by two bracket, or the two parentheses, means that you are creating an empty list there. But here we are creating an empty dictionary. What the dictionary, it is an empty, right? Nothing is there within the dictionary. So now I have to insert the elements into that. So what is that? We are inserting the two values. One is the key element and the associated value. And look at this one. Purse has a lookup tag called as a money, and its value is 12. And we are inserting the second element, so okay, with the lookup tag or a key called as a candy with a value called as the 3. And we are inserting the third element with the lookup tag, or also called as a key, with the value called as a 75. That is, I have inserted three elements into the dictionary, right? One is the money, second one is the candy, and the third one is the tissue. Money is having a value of 12, candy is having a value 3, and tissues is having a value 75. So now what we will do is that we can print the dictionary or the contents of the dictionary by using the print function, print followed by the name of the dictionary. What is the name of the dictionary? It is parse here. So when you print it, so you just get the values, right? What is that? The lookup tag, or also called as the uh, key. Key is money, colon, a 12 associated value, and the second element in the list, right, or the element in the tag, sorry, dictionary. What is that? Tissues, colon, 75, and third one is the candy, colon, 3. It is candy, which is having a value called as a 3, right? So this is how we can uh, make use of, or you can use the things. So now if you want to update anywhere, or if you want to print a particular value, or with a given lookup table, so you can use the name of the lookup tag, or also called as a key, and you can print the value on the terminal. Look at this one. print, parse, and followed by the candy. What is that candy? It is nothing but the lookup tag. So when I use this one, parse followed by the candy, which is nothing but the lookup tag. So it is going to print a value associated with the candy. That is nothing but the 3 here, right? And followed by, if you want to make any changes to the existing value, so what you can do is that you just use operations, some operations here, that is purse of candy, which is nothing but the lookup tag, which will be equal to the purse of candy is nothing but the lookup tag plus the value, the previous value of the candy plus 3 2. What was the previous value? It was 3 plus 2, which is nothing but 5. So once you do that one, you will get the value as money is 12, tissues are unaffected, still it is 75, and candy has been modified to 5. Earlier it was 3, but you look at this one. So after making the changes, you got it as 5. Okay, so these are the operations you can do with the dictionary, right? So the first instruction is that you are creating an empty dictionary. Once it is done, you are entering two values into the dictionary. One is the lookup tag, and second one is its associated value, right? Here the index is of no significance. In whatever the order you enter, it doesn't matter. Only the lookup tag as well as the its corresponding value will only be counted. It will be only get counted. So here we have something called as a lookup tag with the corresponding value, the second lookup tag with the corresponding value, third lookup tag with the corresponding value. So what you do is that you to print the contents of a dictionary, you are doing print was followed by, so you get all these things, right? You get all these things, and followed by if you want to print a particular lookup table, so you can do the using the name of the dictionary followed by the lookup tag value. And if you want to make any modification to the uh, lookup tag, the value at the given lookup tag, you can do it. Here is an example. We are changing the value at the lookup tab called as the uh, candy, right? So okay, after making the modification, you get it as fine. So this is the major difference between the dictionaries and the what you call it as the list. In case of the list, we are just making use of indexes, right? We make use of the index to uh, get the position, or you get the element in the list. So now look at the difference between what we call it as the dictionaries and the what we call it as the list, right? So the dictionaries are like list, except that they use keys instead of numbers to look up values. They are using the keys, or also called as the lookup tag, right? They are using uh, keys instead of the numbers to look up the values. Look at this one. Here is one example of the difference between the dictionaries and uh, the list. The first instruction is that you are going to create an empty list, right? Using a function called as the list. Then you are appending two values, that is 21 and 183. And so once you enter it, so once you append it, the value, the contents of the list is 21 and 183. And the value at zeroth index, the value at zeroth index is only 23, right? So of yes, like sorry, you're just updating the value of the list. That is, the value at 0 has been changed to 23, right? After making the modification, what you have 23 and 183, right? After making the modification, we have 23 and 183. So come back to your dictionaries here. Instead here we are using only the numbers, right? We are using the numbers, right? And to access a particular variable or the element within a list, you are using the index or the position, which is nothing but a number. Look at the example here. The same example has been reconstructed here. So what you are doing is that you are using the dictionary, or you are creating an empty dictionary, right? What is the dictionary? It contains nothing in that, right? It is empty initially. So once it is being initialized, what you do is that you are entering the values. So what is that value? It is at triple D, triple D, age is equal to 21 and its codes is 182. So age and codes are the keys, are also called as the lookup tags, and 21 and 182 are the respective values. 21 and 182 are the respective values. Once it is done, what you do is that if you print it, that is codes 182, then age is 21. Right, course is 182 and the age is 1 or 21. We are just printing it. So if you want to make any modification to the existing list or the existing dictionary, you can use the lookup tab. In this case, triple D, then followed by the age. So I want to make the modification to age, it becomes 23. Now it is being changed to 23. So after doing that, if you print the entire dictionary, what it will do is that it will print something called as the something called as the 183, 182 and 23, which is nothing but the course and the age, which are nothing but the lookup tags. They are nothing but the lookup tags. And this is the difference between what you call it as the dictionaries and the list. Here is the one example, or this code snippet for the list, whereas the same has been converted or has been written into written using dictionaries. Okay, there's a major difference between, in this case we are accessing the elements by specifying the position, which are nothing but the numbers, but where we are accessing the elements by specifying their lookup tag, or also called as the keys. Right, this is the major difference between the list and the dictionaries. Now look at how we are doing with the dictionaries as well as the keys. Right, this is what index is. This is the previous to this one. Right, the same thing has been represented, how we look it in the table. Right, so the 21 at 0th location and 193 at 1 location. So and after making modification, right, the index 0 becomes 23, right, and index 1 still it is 183. There is no change here. There is no change with respect to the second index, but only with the first index, sorry, 0th index, we have changed it from 21 to 23. Right, that is not given here, but here remember that initially it was 21, but after making modification it has become 23. So same thing can be seen here with respect to the dictionary, how they appear in the memory. Right, they are instead of the index they have the keys. Instead of index, which is nothing but the numbers, so from 0 to n minus 1, the dictionary contains a pair of key and the values. Right, what is that key? We have key, which is equal to age and the course. Right, these are, we have two keys here. One is a course and second one is the age. And there are two for course, we have the value as 180, and for each we have the value as 21. We have the value as 21. Like this, you can make the things. Right, that is the mention. Right, if you want to access any value, you have to specify the key with respect to the dictionary. But whereas with respect to the list, the value, you have to specify its position as the index within the list. Right, which is nothing but a number. So look at how we are going to create a dictionary here. Right, let me start by specifying the dictionary. Literally use curly braces and have a list of key and a value pairs. Right, they have a combination of these, that is key and the value pair. Right, we can using empty curly braces. That is, right, you can create an empty curly without having any problem. Right, but if you want to initialize the dictionary with a keyword, sorry, with the some pair of key and value, you can do that. So when you are doing it, literals use the curly braces and have a list of key colon values. That is what you can do it. make an empty as well using empty curly braces. Get the example here. Here is an example which we are initializing the letters in the dictionary. So G is the name of the dictionary, and I have three values or I have three elements, right? One is Chuck with a value called as the 1, and Fred with a value called as 42, and with the 100. So once it is done, they have respective values as well, right? Chuck is having a value of 1, Fred is having a value, and John is having a value of 100. Once it's done, so if you print the value, get something can do definitely. They are usually ordered in ascending order. They are ascendingly ordered, right? So Jennifer comes first, then C, then followed by Fred, right? And followed by not necessarily not necessarily order list, actually is the dictionary itself, and followed by if you want to create an empty dictionary, you can do using a pair of curly braces, right? O, sorry, O, which is initialized with an empty curly brace, right? That's why you can no elements, no elements, right? That is what that is how we can create an dictionary literals, right? So the dictionary literals use curly braces, a pair of curly braces, and I have a list of key and a value pair. What is that key? Key is the lookup tag, right? So here is three values here. Keys I have it, Chuck, Fred, and John. So these are the lookup value tags are also called as the keys. 1, 42, and 100. They are called as the values, right? So we can initialize the dictionary in this way. And the next comes how to make use of these things, right? So one common use of dictionary is counting how often we see something, right? How many times we actually get that value, right? Many counters with the dictionary. How many times you are just saying the values. So look at this one example. So triple C is equal to dictionary. So we are creating an empty dictionary here. We are inserting C7 is equal to 1, C1 is equal to 1, right? So once you do this, so what you're doing is that you're just uh, printing the values. CSCV and CWN is having a value, both is having the value 1 1. So once it is done, you can update the values. Like in the last example, we have seen it, no issues, right? So it has been changed or it has been updated with or it has been incremented with 1, right? Triple C CWN is having is equal to triple C CWN plus 1 it is. That is 1 plus 1, it becomes 2, right? The same thing has been updated into what is that CWEN, right? So this is how you can make use of the counters, or it can be used as the counters. And how you, if there is something wrong with your lookup tag, it will generate an error message, right? So it is an error to reference a key which is not there in the dictionary. uh, this is an error, right? This is an exception that you are generating it. If the uh, lookup table or the lookup tag is not present in the list or in the dictionary, it will obviously it will generate an error or it will generate an exception. That exception has to be caught by the program, and it has to handle, otherwise it will generate an error message which is taken from the library. Look at this, it's an error to reference a key which is not there in the dictionary. If the key is not present in the dictionary, it will generate an error message. We can use the in operator to see if a key is in the dictionary or not. If the So we can check whether the particular lookup tag or the key is present in the list or not, or sorry, dictionary or not. Look at this example. So I'm creating an empty dictionary, right? Initially there is no elements within the empty dictionary at all, right? Once it is done, so what I'm doing is that I'm just trying to get the value of a lookup tag called as a C7. So this key is not present currently, not there in the dictionary, but still what I'm doing is that I'm trying to access it. I'm trying to access it. So in that case, it will generate an error message. It will generate an error message stating traceback most recent call last. It's going to generate an error message stating key error. That is this particular key is not present in the dictionary. It is not there in the dictionary. That's why it will generate an error message. So, okay. And the second part is that we can use the in operator. We can just use the in operator to check whether the particular key or the lookup tag is present in the dictionary or not, right? You can use the key as well. So what is that? C SCV, if is it there in dictionary or not? Is it there in the dictionary or not? C save in triple C, right? If it is there in the dictionary, so it will generate an true value, otherwise it is for generate an false value. In this case, the dictionary is empty. There is no lookup tag called by the C save. That's why it will generate a false value stating that the element is not present in the key is not present in the list or the dictionary. So it is one example of the tracebacks or the dictionary tracebacks. And having this one, like putting the errors something like this, it will not be understood by the end user. So what you do is that you have to mm, handle these exceptions, right? For that one, you have to write the code stating that if you have this error, or you have to catch that error, and you have to handle the exceptions to print a proper message on the terminal. This error message has been generated by the compiler. Right. This is how you can manage the errors within a dictionary. And uh, what happens if you see a new name within a when you encounter new name, we need to add a new entry in the dictionary. And if the second or later item we have seen the name, we simply add one to the count in the dictionary under that name. This is exactly what you call it as the duplicate names, right? If you encounter a name, right? So when you encounter a new name, we need to add a new entry in the dictionary. So there is no problem if the new name is not existing in the list or in the dictionary. So there is no problem. You just directly add into the dictionary. But if the name is already present in the dictionary and it appears for the second time, then what you do is that you simply add one to the existing dictionary name or the dictionary tag, and you have to increment the value, right? That is exactly what you do here. Counts is equal to dictionary. We are creating a new name, sorry, new dictionary, right? Names is equal to all these things. C say CWN, CS, EV, QN, and CWEN. So now you look at the examples here. CSEV, it's an tag, it's a lookup tag. And CWEN, it is another lookup tag. CSEV is another lookup tag, and this is one more lookup tag, and CWEN one more lookup tag. So first, initially the dictionary is empty. If the dictionary is empty, the initially it is empty, right? Sorry. And for the first time, I'm entering a lookup table value or the lookup tag CSV. So anyhow dictionary is empty, so we'll just directly insert into the dictionary. And second one, it is a CWEN. Before entering into the dictionary, what I'll do is that I'll make sure that there is no lookup tag by the name CWD already present in the dictionary. It should not be there in the dictionary. So what I'll do is that if the name is already present in the dictionary, so I'll just update, or I'll add one to the dictionary. Otherwise, I'll add a new name into the dictionary. Look at this CSV. So before adding this tag, right, I'll check whether CSV is already present in the dictionary or not. There is a tag already by the name CSEV. So what I'll do is that I'll add one to that. I'll add one to that. So it becomes two. CSCV has become two here. And ZQIN, it is not there in the dictionary. So I'll simply add it to the thing. CWEN, there is a tag already by the name CWEN. So what I'll do is that I'll add one to that. So look at this. For names in the names. So this is a list. This is a list, right? So for each name in the names, so what I'm doing is that name not in the counts. If the name is not there in the list or in the dictionary, what I'm doing is that I'm just initializing counts of name is equal to 1. The counts of name is equal to 1. That is, I'm just inserting the tag freshly into the dictionary, right? It is a new name or a new tag will be inserted freshly into the dictionary, because the dictionary has no tag earlier. But in the second case, what if the name is already present in the dictionary? What I'm doing is that I'm adding one to the existing value of the name, right? So in this way we are storing it back into the name, right? So I already explained you CSEV, as a CSEV. So initially, when I insert CSEV into the dictionary, it is empty. So I'll directly insert it. CWEN. Before inserting it, I'll make sure that is there any name called by the name CWEN. So there is no name called by the name CWEN. So I'll insert it with the value 1. CSEV. So before inserting it, I'll make sure that there is no tag by the name CSEV. So there is a name already present in the dictionary. It has incremented by 1, so it becomes 2. ZQIN, there is no name by the name by the name called as ZQIN, right? So I'll insert with a value called as 1. CWN, it are already there. Tag is already there with the name CWN. So what I'll do is that I'll add 1 to the value. So it becomes the output appears something like CSEV is having 2, ZQIN is having 1, CW is having a value 2. So that is what. When you encounter a new name, CSEV, so this is encountered for the first time, we need to add a new entry in the dictionary. We're just adding into the list or into the dictionary. And if the second or the later time we have seen the name, if the name occurs more than one time, so what I do is that we simply add one to the count in the dictionary under that name. We are just adding one to the count in the dictionary under that name. So that is how we can add into the dictionary. Look at the things here. All these names have been treated as the list, right? So from this list we are inserting into the dictionaries with the respective values. And uh, we can count the number of things using the uh, get function. This pattern of checking to see if a key is already in a dictionary and assuming a default value if the key is not there is so common that there is a method called as get that does this for you. If the key is already present in the list or present in the dictionary, no issues. If the key is not present, we are assigning a default value. We can use get function and provide a default value of 0 when the key is not yet in the dictionary. If the key is not yet being assigned, so we are assigning 0 to that. Then just add 1 to this. If as and when you have something, so you're just adding 1 to that. So look at this example here. The same, the previous one what you have seen. What you're doing is that counts of name, counts dot get name with the value called as 0, right? If the keys Key has, we have a key but there is no associated value. So what you're doing is that we are assigning a value 0 by default. Then later you can increment it, or you can change the value of the key, right? That is exactly what you're doing it. Names is equal to CSV. So once it finds CSV, right? So this CSV has been initialized with 0 because there is no associated value. So counts dot name is CSV is equal to 1, and then later we are incrementing it by 1. We are incrementing it by. So and this is done. This is done. What is that? Mm, Defaultly, right? Okay, this is how you can use the get function to initialize the key that is already there. If the key has no value, right? If the key has no value, we are assigning with value of 0. This pattern of checking is to see if a key is already in a dictionary, and assuming a default value if the key is not there is so common that there is a method called as get function that does this for you, right? You are just using a get function to change the value, right? Also to initialize the value of a given key. So we can use get function and provide a default value of 0 when the key is not yet in the dictionary, and then just add 1 to that, just adding 1 to that. So how to count the things here, right? Counting pattern here. The general pattern to count the words in a line of text is to split the line into words, then loop through the words and use a dictionary to track the count of each word independently. What you do is that you are just splitting the entire line into multiple words, right? And we'll insert into the dictionary, right? And we'll check how many times the same word has occurred in the line, how many number of times the same word has occurred in the line, just by using this methods, just by using this method.